So y'all talk about the John Wicks, the Jack Reachers, even James Bond. But do y'all know about Robert McCall? You better find out. So Mr. McCall presses up at this restaurant, usually during those demon hours, right about the same time you're reaching for that lotion by your bedside. He just be there sipping his tea, reading and minding his business. Then there's Terry, a teenage girl who's always at the spot chatting to him. You might be wondering, why is she out so late? Well, Terry works for a Russian company that's the real life version of OF. So one day Terry is chilling at the spot with Mr. McCall, just chopping it up, when she gets a call from Slavy.
And you know what else is massive?
Her pimp named Slickback, telling her that Peter Griffin booked her. Basically Chris Browns her every time she gets booked. Damn. And asks her if she could go with someone else. But Slavy's like, nah, he wants you. And the worst part, Brody was already waiting outside. Like, damn nigga, how quick? You can see her eyes tearing up right before she leaves. And of course, Mr. McCall's clocking the whole thing, feeling bad for her. She leaves the restaurant and gets in the car. The next day, Mr. McCall returns to the restaurant, carrying a small cake for Terry. She greets him with a smile and hesitates for a moment before asking, do you mind if I sit next to you? Her voice is soft, you can tell she's kind of unsure. McCall nods, gesturing to the seat beside him. As she sits down, his eyes immediately catch the faint bruise on her face. Like, what the fuck was Peter Griffin doing? Was he trying to fight or was he trying to have a good time? Cause shit, nigga, he could have paid me, I would have gladly pulled up and ran this fade. But I guess he likes bashing little girls. They start talking for a bit and he can tell she's broken, lost in her own world. He tells her straight up, you could be whatever you want, but you gotta change your world first. He walks her home, trying to show her a different way. Just before they get there, Slavy pulls up in the whip. He steps out all hostile and hits Terry with the, what did you do to my customer? Terry's like, he hit me so I hit him back. Then Slavy smacks her. McCall about to step in, but Terry shakes her head, telling him everything's okay. Meanwhile, this nigga standing here low-key clutching his gun, just in case Brody try to pull something stupid. Slavy yanks Terry into the whip and turns to McCall like, this girl, no good. Call this number, I'll send you another one. He hands McCall the card, then drives off like nothing. A couple days go by and McCall doesn't see Terry at the diner. Now he's starting to worry. The next day, Frank, the shop owner, tells him she's in hospital. They beat her up bad. McCall wastes no time and heads straight to the ICU. When he gets there, it's worse than he imagined. Terry is barely recognizable. Her friend is there sitting by her bedside holding her hand. McCall doesn't say a word. He just watches from a distance. But the look in his eyes said it all. You knew right there and then shit was about to get wicked. So Slavy and his crew are posted up at the restaurant, counting bread, taking shots, getting lit. And out of nowhere, McCall just walks in. And they're confused, cause how the fuck did he just get past security? Slavy's like, are you lost, the dushu? And listen, I don't even know what that means, but that shit just sounds nice. The dushu. McCall walks right up to him, pulling out that card that Slavy gave him days ago. I'm here for that girl. Slavy's all like, man, I hand out lots of cards. You gotta be a bit more specific. Then they all start laughing. Her name's Alina. Slavy smirks and says that name doesn't ring a bell. But whoever she is, she must have gave you that hot tour for you to walk up in here like this. But McCall stays calm and puts an envelope on the table with 9,800 cash. Slavy's in disbelief. Ain't no way this man's about to drop damn near 10 bands for one piece of coochie. Slavy reaches out, about to shake McCall's hand, but pulls him in instead. He smirks and says, you think 9,800 is enough? I make that off Terry in 2 weeks. She's still a child. I got people like P. Diddy paying top dollar for her. Now grab your money and get the fuck out of here. McCall's like, I bet. Grabs his envelope, tucks it in his pocket, and starts walking towards the door. He opens it slightly, peeking outside to check the hallways. Then this nigga shuts the door and locks himself in. And motherfuckers know, if you're bold enough to lock yourself in a room with straight killers, it's either you're crazy or you're a straight demon. McCall scans the room, quickly sizing up his situation, then starts the timer. As he's walking forward, the dude by the door tries to flank him from behind, but McCall grabs his arm, clips him in the jaw, then hits a smooth 360 spin, shooting Slavy right in the neck. Damn. He snatches a shot glass off the table and yanks it in Brody's eye. Nigga about to wake up like Nick Fury. The big fella charges in with the knife, but McCall hits him with a sidestep, grabbing his arm, activating Uno reverse, and diving the blade right into his chest. Another nigga tries to rush him from the side, but McCall has the running gun. He sees everything, blocking his punch, then yanking the knife out of Brody's chest and slicing his neck, then slams his face on the table. Brody, who just ate 2 slices to the chest, stumbles back only to catch 2 more and head straight to the shadow realm. The last dude grabs a liquor bottle, swings it at McCall, but McCall weaves that shit, snatches the bottle opener, and just looks at him like, it's up gang. He tries to swing again but gets shanked in the shoulder, then the gut. But homie was still going, so McCall blocks him, stabs him under the arm, then grabs his head and delivers one more to the gut, then twists the blade. Nah, this nigga's on demon time. He pulls it out and sticks it right under his chin, and you can see that shit coming out of his mouth. Like, McCall ain't really playing around. And the craziest part, this nigga spoke Russian the whole time. He's like, Punyato. Nigga drops to the ground and he stops his timer. He walks walks up to Slavia and was like, you should have just taken the money. Now look at you, dead. So after that squad wipe, McCall just goes back to his regular warehouse job like nothing. Nigga, that looks like where I work. Meanwhile, Slavi's boss, Equalizer, aka Teddy, flies in because his crew got wiped out and now he's gotta handle all this mess himself. And I can't lie, this dude wasted no time. He wanted answers but wasn't getting any. So he pulled up on Detective Looney like, we pay you good money for you to sit around and do nothing? Looney clearly wasn't feeling his turn, so he says some slick shit. I don't like you Russians. Y'all think y'all can pull up to America and run shit? Next thing you know, pop, Teddy smacks him with a brick and Frank pops both guards at the door. Teddy starts giving him all types of face shots, pause, then a knee to the chest and one to the cranium. But he wasn't done. He starts yamming his shit on the ground, yank, 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 knocking him out. And he did all this just to send a message to let everyone in America know that he's here. And listen, if I worked for him, I would have tapped in, because that's a message loud enough for me to get the memo. So Ralphie, McCall's friend, suddenly quits his warehouse job, which throws McCall off because he was literally training him to be the security guard there. He decides to check up on Ralph, only to find out that these two shady cops have been extorting Ralph's mother, making her pay weekly interest or else they'll keep torching up her shop. Fast forward to next week when these dirty cops roll up. McCall catches them lacking outside. He pulls up the video of them threatening Ralph's mom and was like, if you don't return every single cent you took from her, you'll wake up with this footage all over the news, Facebook, Instagram, shit, I might even put that bitch on TikTok just to make sure everybody sees that shit. But these cops weren't messing with all that. They pull out the strap and start threatening to send McCall to the afterlife. And McCall's like, I bet. He elbows the cop, then slams his head onto the wall, grabs the pistol, smacks bro in the face with it, and tosses him on the ground. The first dude tries to scramble back up, but gets backhanded into next week. Then the very next day, these niggas woke up at 6 a.m. and returned every single cent. Rafi's mom out here thanking God. Nigga, you should be thanking Denzel. So remember when I said Teddy was all about his business? Yeah, he ended up strangling Terry's best friend because she didn't want to tell him which hospital Terry was at. And that just got me wondering, how do people that do this even sleep at night? I can barely sleep after watching a horror film. My ass gotta watch The Simpsons or Barbie to clear my head. So Nikolai pieces together that on the night that Slavi's crew got whacked, there was one customer who walked in the restaurant and never came out. So they pull up on Denzel while he was just sipping his tea, reading his book. Bro, really just a chill guy. Dude right here thinks he's slick, acting like he's just here to eat. Meanwhile, McCall's over there like, so is it just gonna be you or are we waiting for somebody else? The guy doesn't even fight it. He just starts laughing knowing he's been caught. He whips out the Uzi and Denzel's like, I bet. Puts his book down and starts his watch. The moment homie steps closer, Denzel cracks him with the book, knocks the Uzi to the ground and snaps his neck with the goddamn book. And listen, I do not own a firearm, but best believe from this day forth, I'ma keep that novel by my hip. He cuts the power, then walks right out the front and starts taking pictures of these niggas. Like, at least smile for the camera, gang. Denzel knows that Teddy wants him alive, so he lures them back to the construction site. They trail him but lose sight of him. He pops out of the shadows and starts belting the shit out of this nigga. He never saw that shit coming. Quickly snagging dude's phone and heading back to the trap house. He got shot, so he had to patch himself up real quick. And boiling hot honey is wild, because I just know that shit burns. So while McCall's still healing up using his med kit, Teddy and his goons pull up to McCall's crib. But here's the gag. He has two identical houses. He was posted up at the other spot watching them raid his apartment like, these niggas really thought they can catch me lacking that easy? He rigged the place with cameras everywhere and even went as far as buying a fake plane ticket to Mexico, leaving in the morning just to throw them off their tail. But Teddy's peeping the whole thing and realizes he's too smart for something that simple. He looks at his squad and was like, find him or I'll bring people who can. Then dips. The man's clearly not playing around, but let's be real, McCall's like at least 10 steps ahead of these niggas. The next day, Denzel goes to visit Susan, an old friend, and that's when we learn the truth about Robert McCall. He was a retired Marine gunnery sergeant and ex-DIA operative who faked his death because that was the only way to get out alive. Nigga completely changed his whole identity. Polo G did the same thing. The reason he came to Susan was to get more information about Nikolai and the man he works under, Vladimir Pushkin. Once finding out all the info he needed, McCall throws on his black Air Force Ones, meaning he was about to go all in. Y'all remember Frank? Yeah, that same guy from Stranger Things. Anyways, he pulls up to his crib, sets off his car siren, had his ass running to the garage. The second he opens the door, McCall smacks his head onto the roof, pops him in the gut, then clips him in the jaw, yanking him right in the car. But that wasn't it. His Swift kicks him in the face, leaving his ass dazed, then cuffs his wrist right onto the steering wheel. And it was safe to say, that nigga ain't going nowhere. He grabs a seat, sits down and starts the car. We realize he's rigged the hole from the exhaust straight into the car, turning it into a gas chamber. Frank then starts gasping for air, about to pass out. But Denzel cracks the window open just enough to say, Pushkin, I want it all. who, what, when, where, why, and before you say you're not going to talk, click, nigga just rolls the window right back up, letting the carbon monoxide work its magic. McCall rolls the window down again, but Frank starts yelling, do you know who I am? Do you know who you're dealing with? I'm a goddamn police officer. So McCall just goes, beep, rolls that shit right back up. Frank's inside basically fighting for his life, so McCall opens it again and was like, I don't have much time, which means you don't have any. But Frank still won't talk, so McCall closes the window and walks out. And next thing you know, Frank is out here tagging along with McCall at the meat factory. Turns out that nigga ended up flipping like a pancake. They pull up to the warehouse where they keep all the stash and head straight to the back to talk to Andre. Hey, we gotta move everything, this spot's been compromised. But Andre is not having it. We are not moving nothing until we get orders from Pushkin. And who's this piece of shit you came with? McCall's like, hey, I'm the new guy. Pushkin made the call. Andre side-eyes him because he can tell something is off. McCall asks us to see Andre's Glock. Dude's like, oh, you wanna see my gun? And shoves it right in his face. McCall hits the Uno reverse, snatching that shit and aiming it right back at him. What's good, hoe ass nigga? Now tell all your men to drop their guns. And Andre wasn't listening, so McCall points the gun right on his nuts. And I guess that's all it takes because he folds. He pays off the workers and Frank calls it in. And when the boys in blue show up, they find 500 million stacked in a freezer alongside with Andre's goons. I know them niggas were cold as shit. But it doesn't stop there. McCall grabs Frank's USB loaded with all the dirt, girls, transactions, even oil shipments, and sends that straight to the police. After that, he goes straight to the docks and blows the whole damn place sky high, containers and all. Nigga just shut down like 100 businesses in one hit. Teddy calls in a Russian hitman because shit was getting way too out of hand. Funniest scene ever, this dude here sitting with the glasses is apparently Russia's top hitman. Nigga like, I'll find McCall. Then goes to the bathroom and 2 minutes later McCall comes back and drops his glasses right on the table and tells him he ain't coming back. And man, I can only imagine the quick ass whipping he got in the toilet. Shit must have been quicker than Conor McGregor knocking out Jose Aldo. Denzel looks at Teddy and was like, you had enough? Because I could keep going, brick by brick, dollar by dollar, body by body, or you can call your boss and tell him to shut down the whole operation. And Teddy's like, hey, that's not really much of an offer. Denzel looks at him dead in the eye and was like, when you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too. And I don't know, man, that shit was just heat. I wrote that shit down straight away. I'm probably gonna be saying that shit randomly in every video from now on. But y'all gotta promise something. If y'all hear that shit from me, just act like I made it up. He tells Terry that he gave up this life for good, that he promised his wife he will never break out the black Air Force Ones again. But for this, he's gonna make an exception. He scribbles his phone number on a piece of paper, then drops it on the table and dips. Pushkin calls Teddy and was like, you better shut this down. Your life is on the line. So Teddy digs up some intel on McCall's warehouse job and ends up taking them as hostages. Teddy demands McCall to meet him at the docks or he'll start dropping his colleagues. So McCall agrees to that but pulls a pump fake, leaving the phone on the bus, making it seem like he was heading to the docks. But instead, he slid straight to the warehouse and turned on the speakers, cranking that new card he had that guard running out to the control room trying to turn that shit off. As soon as he gets there, McCall pops out, snatches his gun and then rocks him in the jaw. But that was not it. He clips him on the kneecap so hard, had dude on both knees looking like he was about to praise the Lord, then smacks him and cracks his neck. Rafi just standing there in straight shock. Up until now, he just thought McCall was just that chill co-worker. Little did he know that boy was a demon. McCall snatches the goon's radio and fakes a distress call. Hey quick nigga, I need backup, come to the lobby. He goes straight to the lobby and sees Rafi all confused, then turns around and catches 2 face shots with a fire extinguisher, knocking his ass out. McCall tells Rafi to get everybody out. Then Teddy calls Denzel like, real clever what you pulled, but no more games. I'm coming to you. And McCall's just like, oh yeah? Come get me, pussy. So Teddy's in the warehouse, but now he's with his elite 5, his best men. As far as we're concerned, this is 2018 Golden State. Denzel locks all the doors, making sure nobody can get in and nobody can get out. He starts lining up the aisles with booby traps, like he's Kevin McAllister. Dan Brazilian here steps on a sandy spot, looks down and yank. He's hoisted up by the throat, choking. Meanwhile, Denzel's just up there watching him dangle, like say goodbye. Another guy creeps on the same aisle, notices the blood on the floor, and glances up, yank right through the neck. Poor guy never saw that shit coming. McCall quickly tries to reach for the strap, but Teddy fires off a shot, catching him on the shoulder. Denzel quickly runs out of there. He loses them, then poses up at this spot for a minute, patching up his bullet wound. And as soon as he finished medding up, he went right back on that field. 2 of Teddy's goons spots one of McCall's traps and started retreating. But you always gotta watch your back. Dude feels the tip of the drill at the back of his head, and that was the end of his story, drilling right into his brain. And I can't even hold you, that might have been the worst one yet. McCall catches this giant dude slipping in the bathroom aisle, shanking glass right into his back. Had bro screaming like he was giving birth. He presses McCall right into the wall, then tosses him around. McCall counters with a chin check, smashing the guy's face right into the mirror. But he was not done. He snatches the knife and stabs him 3 times to the body and 1 to the throat. But somehow this nigga is still standing. He definitely had 2 minis and a fucking chug jug before this shit. This guy slams Denzel to the ground and starts elbowing his leg, making this nigga howl in pain. Somehow McCall manages to grab a piece of shard off the ground and then just jams it in Brody's neck, and that was a wrap. Raph comes back for McCall but ends up getting shot trying to escape. McCall then tells Raffy to run to the breaker box to turn the lights on. Meanwhile, the last guard wanders into the lunchroom, hot on Denzel's tail, only to notice a bunch of pressurized aerosol cans spinning in the microwave. The second he realizes, boom! He did that boy like they did the Twin Towers. The sprinklers turn on and Teddy rushes Ralph, only for McCall to nail him, literally from the bleachers. Teddy tries to raise his arm back up but eats 2 more nails, 1 to the chest and an extra for the shoulder. McCall clocks the gun back, clips him 1 more time, dropping him to his knees. But Teddy's a dog though. He tries getting back up just to get hit right back down. And Raffy's on the side trying to peek the whole shit. He ain't trying to miss no action. McCall locks and loads 1 final time, and Teddy, gasping, yells, "Who are you?" McCall presses that tool right by his neck and fires it, ending it right there. Relax, don't click out the video yet. McCall pulls up to Pushkin's house in Moscow while the nigga's in the shower. He was just chilling in the chair like, so I guess this is the final boss. Flicking the lights on and off before disappearing. Pushkin comes out the shower, shivering, scared as hell, and starts yelling for his guards, only to find out it's too late. He tries turning off the tap, but instantly gets electrocuted. McCall calmly strolls out, and as he does, you see the trail of bodies he's laid out. And yeah, I guess it's safe to say that nigga's like that. So the scene starts with my boy Robert McCall on a train, looking like he just got back from the mosque. This is not Denzel. This is Abdul Washington. He heads to the back bar to scoop out a drink, and look at him. You know you didn't have to bring out that whole stash for 1 drink. I swear, this is how niggas be acting around the huz. As soon as there's company, niggas just start acting different. Hey, anybody got change for 10,000? So this guy comes and sits next to McCall, asking what is he doing in Turkey? Because of course his American accent gave it away. I'm just out here looking for a deadbeat father who kidnapped his own daughter from her mother. And by dude's reaction, you can tell that story hit a little too close to home. Sounded like McCall was talking about him. Nigga wasn't taking any chances. He gets up, then his men come pressing Mac. But of course, before he started getting busy, he had to start his rollie. First guy tries to come and grab him, only to catch hot tea to the face, then glasses right in his eyeballs. Damn, he really Nick Fury'd him. Let me use this real quick. Smack to the head. Who do you think you're shooting? You don't need that throat no more. This guy tries a cheeky stab, but gets pulled down, then rocked in the mouth, makes him stab himself in the heart, then just snaps his neck. This nigga was in the back watching the entire thing. The goat sits down and tells him, "You got any last words?" So yeah, McCall goes back to the US and brings the child back home to her mother. So remember how McCall was working at a warehouse like me? He upgraded. He's now a part-time Lyft driver, but he's still the neighborhood hero. Nigga really Batman without the mask. This French guy walks into his crib and his wife is terrified, looking like she's just seen the Holy Ghost. But nah, that wasn't the case. There were 3 men already inside and they did not waste any time. They popped her in the head, then grabbed him and sat him down. Bro, he didn't even know what was going on, but they put the gun in his hand and blew his head off. Blow! Making it look like he killed his own wife, then killed himself. Free him. Shit got me thinking. What did he do to make them niggas that mad? Anyways, McCall gets a request for a drop off. So he pulls up, and when he gets there is this girl. And by the looks of her, she's being beaten and raped. So McCall wasn't just about to take her home. He does the right thing and takes her straight to the hospital. Neighborhood hero for real. But that wasn't it. He pulls back up to the Jews that she was with and was like, the card was invalid for the ride. So Connor here pulls out the black card and was like, my bad. Give yourself a nice tip as well. Okay, rich boy. But McCall ain't care about all that. Bro been paid. He's like, you didn't ask if Shorty got home safe. And this clown obviously didn't give 2 shits.
She at home okay?
She at home okay?
Yeah, Mac did not fuck with that sarcasm. So he's like, bet, I'm gonna need your cameras, phones, and anything you might have used to record what you guys did to her. And Connor's just standing there stunned like, who the fuck is this guy? He calmly walks to the door and locks it. And yeah, that's when they really messed up. And for you nerds in the comments, I know his name is not Connor. I ain't know it, so I'm just calling him the first name that popped to my head. And honestly, this guy kind of looks like a Connor anyways. Mac starts his watch, then Connor throws his weak ass hook, only to get it blocked then sliced in the head. Shout out to the black card. Then Mac just breaks his arm. Side character 101 steps in cause Connor was getting way too much screen time. He eats one to the gut, smacked in the back of the head, dropped to the floor, and yeah, his arm gets broken as well. John comes in because his boys were getting violated, but doesn't think to pick up a weapon or nothing. He just comes in with 2 hands and that tight ass suit, and nigga did all that to get his ACL torn. Then his head snapped. Nah, look at the look on his face. Mac ain't killing them, but he definitely gonna be wearing one of these for a minute. And I don't know if he's ever gonna be able to do this. So now we got 3 down and 2 to go. This guy right here already looked like he wanted to cry. So Mac gives him the benefit of the doubt and tells him to come here.
Stupid.
Yeah, he gets a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece, no biscuit. Low-key make it 6 because the couch got an extra hit. So now that everyone knows there was a demon in the room, this idiot that was on 1 HP decides, it would be a great idea to get up right now. And yeah, Denzel just yanks his tie down, knocking his ass right back out. Max stops his watch and the last guy on the couch might be the smartest one because he ain't jump in. Or maybe he's just a little actually he is, because how are you already crying? You haven't even been touched.
Try.
Mac tells him to dial 911 and report everything they did to that girl. You cannot tell me this guy isn't pissing himself right now. Right or left? What do you mean? Are you right or left-handed? Right. He tells him to raise his left hand, and Brody started crying even more. And Denzel had no time for this. So he grabs his face and does that whisper parents do when they're mad as shit. Give me your left hand. Nigga raises it and McCall snaps it. Nah, this shit would be the worst pain ever. Then before he leaves, he tells him to give him a 5-star rating. And as soon as he got downstairs and into his car, so yeah, Mac heads back to the crib and his best friend Susan is there. And she a real one cause it was Mac's wife's birthday and she actually flew down just to have dinner with him. These are the type of people you have to have around you. Not motherfuckers that say they're about to hop on the game and they don't. Anyways, McCall got this kid Miles painting over graffiti in their little complex or whatever. And every time I see this kid, I can't help but to think about that time he pulled up to the red carpet without a cut. And listen, I ain't hating, he's obviously successful. But gang, come on. Surely you could have got a lineup or something. So Susan starts looking into that murder case from earlier. If you forgot, that nigga that they killed and made it look like he murdered his wife. Susan was really cracking down on this homicide, which was bad. While Susan was in the city where people say croissant. Gang, it's croissant. Don't make life hard. Anyways, while she was in Paris, her and Dave were cracking down the case and doing the investigating. But when she gets to her hotel, she gets flanked by 2 guys and they start beating her ass. And this part, man, this shit was so sad. Like, that was my dog for real, for real. They beat her up and unalive her. So obviously Mac gets the call from her husband Brian about what happened, and that was the spark that set it all. McCall flies back to DC for the funeral, but he couldn't attend because he was a dead man. So he just watched from up far. But after Brian explains the so-called death as a robbery, but nothing was really adding up because Susan never wore jewelry. Shit didn't sound right, so McCall had to start doing his own investigating. As Mac was trying to put all the pieces together, the 2 ops that got Susan ended up getting beamed. So yeah, it was clear, this was big, and they were cutting any loose ends. After days of digging and checking CCTV footage, Mac realizes he's gonna need help from an old friend. Dave, his former partner before retirement. I mean, before he faked his death. And yeah, he was shocked cause imagine seeing a dead man. McCall lets Dave know that Susan's death couldn't have been a robbery. She never pressed a button in the elevator, and the knife wound was too perfect, straight to the heart. That meant whoever did this were trained killers, not thieves. So Dave agrees to help Mac and figure this whole thing out. Denzel heads back to the crib and starts digging through the case that Susan was investigating, because maybe these 2 are connected. Bro was reenacting the entire scene like it was CSI. He figures out that there had to be someone else in that room. The gun that was used to kill his wife was shot by someone who was left-handed. So Mac tells Dave that Susan was probably killed because she was about to find out the truth about that murder case and who else was in that room. And if that's the case, that's why they killed her. McCall realizes Miles hasn't been outside painting for a minute, so he goes to the projects and this clown tries stopping him, but he gets one to the throat, then cracks his shit, pop, knocking him straight out. And by the looks of it, he's probably gonna be asleep for a good hour. Mac grabs his gun and heads upstairs, and as soon as the elevator door opens, Bodylocks here gets his head smacked to the wall. Then this dude gets pistol whipped, hooked, and tossed in the elevator. Nah, if it was supposed to be some type of gangster or drug dealer, he gotta hang it up, cause ain't no way. I mean, lucky for him, nobody caught that shit on camera, cause his so-called gangster card should be revoked. But knowing niggas, when he wakes up, he gonna be telling the story like this.
One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, bow, bow.
Anywho, McCall walks in the trap house and we got Miles smoking gas, hoes cooking crack, and OG's giving bad advice. This is literally the pinnacle of a trap house. Mac walks in with 2 pistols and tells Miles to get his ass up. And of course he's listened, cause he's a good boy. Miles low-key reminds me of Ja Morant. Like they want to be street so bad. Like gang, it's 2025. You don't get any brownie points for trying to be gangster. Matter of fact, these days that shit is lame.
Me not getting love, the proper love from my entire family made me seek love from niggas.
Say that again?
Seek love from niggas.
This nigga's a homosexual.
So McCall heads downstairs, hands Miles the gun and was like, you want to be a killer, right? Alright, kill me first. Shoot me. And of course, Miles couldn't do it because he's not with it. So Mac grabs the gun and points it right at him and tells him this is what a real killer looks like. And just by the look at Miles' eyes, you can tell he never wanted this life. The eyes never lie, Chico. The eyes don't lie. Mac leaves and tells him to make a choice. And yeah, the next day he rocks up to his house because I guess he decided he doesn't want to be a hood idiot or actually a street idiot anymore. While McCall's back at the job doing drop-offs as usual, he picks up Mo Salah and something fell off, so McCall starts driving around the same block a few times. And the thing is, Salah didn't say a word, so that made it obvious. He pulls out a knife, but McCall starts driving left and right, had Salah in the back like this. Brody couldn't stay still. Mac gives him 2 elbows to the nose. Blink, blink. Had red Kool-Aid coming out. He crashes the car, grabs his arm while still driving and cracks it. Pop to the face, sending him flying back to the back seat. And I can't lie, this has to be the worst hitman I've ever seen. Who sent this nigga? I have never shot a gun in my life, barely even seen that shit. But I probably could do a way better job than this bozo right here.
Try!
Brody pulls out the pistol, so Mac just hits the brakes, grabs his hands while still not trying to crash, then just hits a dead stop. Nigga falls to the front and bang bang. Mac grabs his phone and burns him in the car. That was the worst hitman of all time. Hopefully they didn't prepay him, because if you did, tough. Anyways, McCall rolls up to Dave's crib and announces, introducing himself to his wife. He shows Dave the phone he got from that hitman and tells him they're cutting loose ends. Nobody's safe. Me, you, your family, we're all in danger. But then he calls the last number the phone rang.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna
Nah, this guy deadass got caught red-handed. So Dave tries to explain why Susan was killed. She was about to figure out the Brussels contract and who was in that room, and that would have exposed the agency and all their dirty corruption. Damn, those 2 geezers earlier wasn't even the ones who did it. Dave was the one that shanked her in the heart. I knew there was something up with this guy. He didn't look trustworthy. They both step outside and Dave goes, sorry, you're a loose end. But McCall wasn't worried because he was like, y'all messed up. Y'all killed my best friend. Now I'm gonna kill every single one of you. Then nigga asks Dave's wife for a lift to the station. And of course she says yes. And look at him, smiling like crazy. Nah, he really playing with him, dead in their face.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
First, Dave's crew tries to take out Susan's husband, Brian. So they roll up to his house deep, about to Swiss cheese him. And I gotta give it to Brian, cause he ain't no Brody was ready with the double pump. He was not about to get caught lacking like his wife. But just as they pull up, McCall was already in the crib. They head out the back, get in the whip. They were gone. After dropping off Brian to a telly, he receives a call from Miles, and McCall must have forgot he was touching up walls at his crib. And while he was on the phone, he hears the dogs barking and instantly knows something is off. Them hounds never bark unless they're hungry or there's danger, and them niggas just ate. Mac tells Miles to look out the window, and when he does, he sees David and his goons sliding up, and these boys rolled up with pizza boxes looking like DoorDash and shit. McCall checks his cameras and yeah, they were breaking in his crib. So he quickly tells Miles to hide in the secret room. This shit would have been stressful because he had to look for a book to find the secret button. He finally finds it and gets in. Dave and his goons search the whole crib, and just as he's about to shoot the double mirror, Mac calls him. You mind watering my plants since you're in my house? And this got Dave tight because Mac is clearly not at home. He tells Dave to come meet him where it all started. And just like that, they leave the crib. And I'm not even lying. Not even 10 minutes goes past, and this nigga Miles gets out the house trying to leave, and as soon as he does, Yeah, they were spawn camping. Anyways, McCall heads back to his old town by the seaside, and it's low-key perfect because the whole place is evacuating for the storm. Empty streets, boarded up houses, nothing but wind and waves. This was a straight up horror movie vibe. Dave and his crew pull up too, but this is how I know they were low-key cooked. The police stopped them like, yo, there's a storm coming, y'all gotta turn back. And instead of playing it cool, these dudes just blicked the cop. Mac parks up and Dave and them start hunting him down. Well, Dave took the high ground because he didn't want to be on the ground with that demon. I probably would have done the same thing too. Why go out there if you have pawns you can send? The first dude walks in this shed in stealth mode. He sees Mac and shoots him. Psych, it was his reflection. Nigga comes out and bang, swishes a fishing hook right through his head. Kovac. Gang, your boy is dead. The rest start pushing towards the ocean and this dude catches it bad. He sees a picture of Susan and instantly catches a knife to the rib, then the leg, then one straight to the nuts. Bro's face said it all, but he was not done. He slices his arm, shoves him to the wall, stabs him in the liver, and to finish it off, just for that extra little seasoning, that little nibble, he slices his throat. Nah, he was really hunting them down like animals. Mac then shoots the power line, blinding Dave, and quickly runs to the other side. He heads to his wife's old bakery, slices open all the bags of flour and flips the fan on, turning that hoe into a blizzard. Dave sends one of his boys inside, thinking they caught a fish in the net. Brody tosses the smoke grenade inside, and boom! Yeah, he was cooked. Nigga flew back like 100 yards, and though it looked like he might have survived, he was far from it. All his insides were out. Nigga looked like fresh spaghetti. Dave, it's just me and you now. Nobody else is left. Not exactly. Yeah, Dave had Miles. He tells Mac to show himself, and if he does, he won't kill the kid. And we all know that was cap. Dave starts messing with him, shooting at the car. Side mirror, bang. Tail light, bang. He goes for the trunk, but Mac shoots the tire, missing it clean. And that pisses Dave off. He gets up, but the wind flings him back. I don't know what type of wind this is, but this shit was strong as hell. Dave gets back up, but can't see or hear McCall at all. And just as he's about to shoot at the car, this nigga McCall shows up behind him. And I don't know how the hell he got up there that quick, but hey, movie. He turns around and eats an elbow to the face. Dave whips out his knife and starts swinging like a madman. Yes. Nah, that shit got him wobbly. He tries to come back, but Mac grabs his arm and flips him on his face. Nah, where's he getting these moves? Smackdown. Dave slices him in the thigh, then rocks his shit. Pop! But McCall ate that shit like because he slices his arm, grabs him, and then just flips him over his shoulder. Now, how much does Dave weigh? Because that was just disrespectful. They both get back up and start going at it. I'm talking knee to knee, bear hugs, kicks, drops. Nah, this was pay-per-view. But McCall lacks and gets put into a headlock. So he pulls the dirtiest move out the book, sticking a finger in the eye. Look at how bad Dave is screaming. He lets go, elbows him, quickly runs and grabs the knife, and then just starts piecing his shit. Nah, then he puts one right to his heart. That one was for Susan. Look at Denzel's face. I'm not even sure if this is acting. He might really feel this way. He sticks the knife out, then cuts this guy's head off. Oh my god. Yeah, he was cooked. He throws him off the edge and